This is how trauma eyes look like in a survivor of narcissistic abuse. If you pay close attention to this picture, you will notice one eye is smaller than the other in comparison. There is asymmetry in size. Why is that? Well, research shows that prolonged exposure to chronic stress can lead to facial asymmetry, which simply means the difference in the eye size can be caused by exposure to trauma. Mostly it happens when there is physical trauma to brain or to your face. But the eyes that have witnessed horror, absolute terror, chaos, instability, uncertainty manifest the shock in the same way, as if they have been hit, as if the face has undergone some physical alteration, as if the brain has sustained some physical injury. See, that's why we always say narcissistic abuse damages your brain. This is yet another proof for the same. There is no direct research that has been done to establish a connection between complex trauma and asymmetry in eye size, but there is research that indicates, that suggests an indirect link between the two. For example, prolonged exposure to chronic stress can lead to the development of a condition called Bell's palsy, and that can cause asymmetry in eyes. If you pay close attention to my eyes, you will notice my right eye is smaller in comparison to the left. And I always had this. I thought this is normal, this is what other people have as well. But upon exploring things, trying to understand eye trauma, the impact of stress on your vision, how that leads to the development of various eye-related disorders and so on, I found that this is a manifestation of all that chaos. My eyes have witnessed shock, violence, and horror like nothing else, like no one else. So this is something that you may have as well. Do you have this eye size difference, the asymmetry? If yes, drop your experiences and your answers in comments below. Hi, I am Danish, a psychologist, a trauma therapist, and a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. The topic for today's episode is how narcissistic abuse trauma impacts your eyes. Now, a small disclaimer before we get started. In no way am I suggesting that all those people whose eyes differ in size are automatically survivors of narcissistic abuse trauma or any other trauma. This can be a genetic thing or caused by many other issues like brain injuries, facial injuries, and whatnot. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to shed some light on how narcissistic abuse trauma can impact your vision and can lead to many other problems. Size difference is just one of those. Your body is not just an intelligent but also a miraculous machine that has its own way of expressing pain. This is the reason why a lot of pioneers in this field have been suggesting a direct link between your mind and body. Mind is not separated from your body. We are a whole being, and everything impacts everything that is within, that makes us who we are. They came up with the book called Your Body Keeps the Score, which truly explains, and beautifully so, how your body remembers the trauma that it has been through and how that trauma gets manifested later. Digestive issues, skin issues, nervous system issues, to name a few. But eye issues in particular are the least ones to be talked about. Asymmetrical eyes are not the only thing that I have observed in myself and in other survivors. Eye floaters, light flashes, acute glaucoma, chronic eye-related conditions, partial or complete blindness, yes, all of that can be caused by narcissistic abuse. I don't have to go anywhere to find an example for this. In my mother's side of the family, every single member that I know, her sisters, her brothers, except a few, have open angle glaucoma, the same condition. That is the genetic gift. Intraocular pressure is out of balance, and all of them are using extreme drugs, medications to keep it under control. There are side effects to them, as with any medication, that hard. They understand they have a condition, but unfortunately, what most of them do not understand is that this is a manifestation of complex trauma. Yes, my mother is a covert narcissist, but I can name tons of problems, health issues that she is struggling with, has been struggling with for a long time because of what she has been through, and other members of her family alike. So, my dear survivor of narcissistic abuse trauma, the size difference in your eyes is not a sign of your ugliness or crookedness. It doesn't make you look stupid. It's a clear sign of the trauma that you have experienced, the years of struggle and survival. You need to be compassionate towards yourself, and you need to find a link between why you look this way and what has happened to you. In Eastern medicine, in Ayurveda, and in Chinese medicine, they can just look at your eyes and know your story. They can tell you a lot about your past by looking at your face and finding out all the imbalances going on in your body. Now I know what your next question is going to be. How do I reverse this? Yes, one eye is smaller than the other, or I have eye floaters, I have black dots, I have stuff going on. What do I do about it? The first thing that you need to do is you need to get yourself checked, at least screened for other conditions. This should be the last thing. Don't assume just because you have those problems, this is the narcissistic abuse trauma is the cause. No, you may have glaucoma, you may have other things going on. So first make sure nothing else is going on and everything is clear. Then what you can do is you need to work on your autonomic nervous system. I always say in almost every single episode, in one way or the other, that you need to regulate your autonomic nervous system, which is out of balance. You are mostly in sympathetic dominance. You are in fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. And you need to know how to calm your body. It's not thinking differently. It's not saying positive things to yourself. No, that's just a part of it. The summary of it all, of nervous system regulation, is relaxing the body at a muscular level. That is what research has shown. If you can relax your body in a moment of crisis or when you're exposed to a trigger, you can neutralize it immediately. What will that lead to? How will that help? Well, if you're able to regulate your nervous system, you will be able to enter what is called parasympathetic dominance, rest and digest mode. When that happens, naturally your body will heal itself because it will recognize there is no need to stay in a survival mode, and it will reallocate resources. Your gut will heal itself, energy will be in balance, and naturally that will have a positive impact on your eyes. I'm not saying everything will be okay and eyes will look of the same size, but at least you will notice a lot of difference. A lot of difference. A lot of people tell me in comments, oh, you look different with every day passing. How is it possible? There is no miracle. It's just I've been out of that toxicity for a long time. There is not a lot going on in my life. Intentionally, I have kept it quite simple, beautiful, peaceful, and I follow a simple routine every single day. I stay in touch with my body. I know when I am overwhelmed, when I need to rest instead of just surviving and being hyper vigilant. I know when I need to go within and calm it down. That is what has restored the balance. So once you enter that relaxed, calm state and you make that your permanent state, because narcissistic abuse has changed you drastically, altered your nervous system rhythm, once you're able to stabilize it, miraculous will start happening. Your health will become better. You will start seeing a lot of improvement in your overall functionality. If you want to understand this at a deeper level, check out my course, my signature program called Heal After Narcissistic Abuse, in which I thoroughly explain how narcissistic abuse trauma leaves a multifaceted impact on your life, how that shows up later, and how you can heal from it in 5 practical steps. The link is in the description of this episode. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. I hope you liked it and you resonated with the things that I shared with you today. I'll talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.